I just noticed this really pretty looking flower over here, hiding among all the weeds where I'm doing stuff over there. I wonder if maybe I can save this flower and put it into a pot or something. I don't really know what it is. I'll probably have to use Google Lens on it and check. That's pretty cool looking. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Haze Demon Grow Show. And today we are going to be doing something a little bit different than the bamboo that we've been dealing with and all the other shenanigans. We have ourselves here a tiger lily that was growing wild in the area where I'm going to be growing the bamboo, in the direction and whatnot. And it's right here. Let's check it out. You won't be able to see it all quite big yet. I'll move it around and we'll check it out. But this is it right here. It's actually been out of the ground and in a pot for almost a week. And it has had multiple times that the flowers have bloomed. And it actually still has one more up here that's probably still going to bloom. It hasn't rained. I've left it outside. It hasn't rained in a couple days, so I was going to go ahead and let the dirt dry out so that way it would be easier to take this apart, because basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to, what we're attempting to do here, is to take that and separate that plant into more of a straight, solid line and then let it grow from there. You know what I'm saying? So... but I think we could use a better pot than this one. But the thing is, I'm going to probably use it for like the, for this year. And then next year, I'll know exactly where I want to plant them early spring for them to stay permanently. But right now, I'm just clearing all that area out there. So they're just kind of in the way. And I want to save these tiger lilies. I will put a picture up whenever I took a good picture, whenever it was in its prime, before I took it out of its area. It was actually a bigger plant than it was, and the ones there's two more patches of these that I'm gonna get out, and they're gonna be a lot bigger pot than, it's gonna need a lot bigger pot than that one that's got. So we'll see what we can do here. And I also brought one that was like a piece of the bigger one, and even though it's pretty much looks like it's gonna die, the reality is that we're gonna plant this, and it's probably gonna continue to grow because these bulbs are very, it's supposed to be a pretty hardy plant. So this is just a part of this one when it was bigger. This one was probably like twice the size that it was, and I just didn't have the pot ready for it to be able to go into a good one for it, and it'd still be temporary. So the other ones, I'm going to get two bigger pots for those ones, and then that's whenever I'll transplant them out into their spot. And then I'll have these portable for a while, and just because they're blooming during the mid-summer right now. That's like May, June, June, and yeah, so time is just ticking on by. So now down here, and so this plant was so big that I could barely even carry it. Now where it's so small and that the water's all drained out of that dirt, it's not too hard to pick up. And I got me one of these little handheld thingamajigs that can help me break the dirt up here. We're also gonna, we got the hose, mess around, because I'm gonna mess around first and go ahead and clear this one off and see what we got here. So, because this is a learning process for me just as much as it might be for you, because I know what this is and I know what the bulbs are, but I just want to clear this off here and we can get some very exposed roots so we can see what we're working with here. And try not to get the camera wet, right? So I see a lot of, I guess these are the bulbs. No, this might be the bulb. I mean, that's like a really thick root. Maybe that's Actually, the bulb might have been what was the bottom of this, so this plant might still die. But it does have all these smaller ones, so again, I'm still going to try to see if this stays alive or not, right? But I think maybe this one does kind of look like I might have cut too shallow, and hopefully I didn't do that with the other plant here. We're going to find out. But this is just what I wanted to do, is just see the root base and everything before we get into this one here. I'm already getting wet. I don't even know if I really need gloves. Yeah, let me put the gloves on. It's time to get a little bit dirty. What I plan on doing was bringing, once this gets in here, I know there's not enough dirt to fill this whole thing up here from this, so I'm going to go get some mud and then finish it up with that. Fill it in. I don't really know what this metal piece is for, to be honest. It seems it's like there. And look, there's another piece of here that just washed off of it. It does look like more towards the bottom of what that was before. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to do it or not. I don't know. But we're going to find out about this one, because it has many different ones that it's had. This one's still going to bloom probably here in like the next week or two. This one is going to bloom in probably the next couple days. But basically, I'm already transplant. They're in the way of where I'm going to be going, so it's kind of the right time to transplant them anyway. At any point in time, supposedly, is not bad, but really, you want to do it after they bloom or early spring, so that way they still have time to bloom if you wanted them to. So I won't be replanting these until early spring next year, so that they're prepared for their season to bloom. Alright, so what we're seeing here is all the same thing as the other one, the smaller one, except just a lot more of it, obviously. But I'm not seeing what maybe is the bulb, unless maybe it's somewhere in the center. Unless all of these little fat spots are bulbs. You guys let me know. I don't really see how I can separate this from each other. Just except pulling it apart. Guess that's really the only way to do it, huh? We'll just pull it apart some here and there. Just kind of feel for it, where it wants to come apart, maybe. Each one of these could have some sort of like way to triangulate their source and separate them from there, one piece at a time. So this one, like right here on the end, I'm just gonna pull it off. Boom. Now, question is, will it be able to survive as this lone piece by itself here, just like the other one? And this one is the one that has a flower on it. Ripperonis, right? It might not survive, since it was the first one to get pulled apart and not really potentially be connected to a good piece. This is really small, but we'll take it. We'll have that too. We're just going to put them all lined up together. I'll probably try to leave the a main piece, you know, in the center, I suppose. The bigger chunk of it, right? And then just try to have a lot of the smaller pieces separated to be longer. So this seems like a piece that could come apart. I'm trying not to pull by the bottom of the plant because I started to, but try to go into the roots and separate it that way. Maybe I just a little chop here. I feel like that damages it more because it's not like I did that with that one. They just ripped, but that one's actually cutting into it, so I don't know. But it would make it easier. And we're experimenting here. We're testing this out. So, really, it came with one small one and one bigger one. So that should be good enough here. And then we got another small one here where the end is broke now. So at least one of the long ones is still alive-ish. And then there's this one, which is the middle piece. So I got a total of 2 smaller pieces, 2 and 3 even smaller pieces, right? And then there's this big piece. It's still got a lot of the roots here, so it should still be able to work, and it fits much better in this pot, and I'll be able to grow it lengthwise. Boom. And then I just need to put some more mud in there. Plant these in there. We got here the mud straight from the source of where the plant actually came from, and I think I got another one I could go ahead and plant and see if it will come back to life, since it was a part of the original one. But we got that bad boy ready to go, ready to get filled up. The mandrake, I think that's what I was talking about. I was going to say earlier, yeah, the mandrake from Harry Potter. These kind of roots, for some reason, make me think of it. And then just plucking them out of there. Ah! But yeah, we got the other ones. Ripperonis to the one that I ripped in half on accident. But there's still another big one on here. They could still bloom one more time, and then maybe on the other one. But yep, let's go ahead and get that in there. I'll show you guys. Oh yeah, and there we go. There's the final product of the plant. All in its glory. Glory, hallelujah. We put the mulch in there, get it up to the level. It's raining outside right now. The plant's not going to look the greatest. It might still bloom one time, definitely not that one. But these two could still bloom. And maybe even some of those might still. Never know. YOLO, check this out. We have a ton of tiger lilies all across the driveway here near the pond. So many of them are blooming right now as we speak, and more on the way. There's so many of them. There's like hundreds of them. Look at it down there. Oh my goodness. I was over there saving, you know, just like a couple of... This is absolutely beautiful. So many of them all over the place. Way more than I had thought there was down there near my bamboo, which right now, there's probably like a dozen of these flowers down there. But there's probably like hundreds of them up here. This is absolutely crazy. We're a little bit more in the shade in this particular area at the moment, but you can kind of see down there as there is some more tiger lilies, and there's more and just more and more. Let's get a real nice zoom close look up on that thing right there. Maybe not too close. How close can we get in focus? Oh, righty then. Like right about there. Nope, a little bit back. Get the proper color. But there's just so many of these, like I was saying. They are... It's out of focus. Yeah, there's a good focus. I think I didn't have it focused in on the other part here. But yeah, they're just everywhere. This is freaking awesome. Look at that. All near the pond. There's just so many of them. I love it. This nice bright orange color. And there's so many more of them. Probably for the next 2 weeks, I'd say. There are going to be more and more still blooming. Because these flowers don't seem to last, like, forever. Each one blooms and then they last a couple days. But each one of these has separate ones that are going to bloom whenever they're ready. It is super duper awesome, and it just keeps on going down the driveway. Oh yeah. Not really ready for the camera here, but this is just freaking awesome. I'm really excited about it. And this is just right here near the pond. But that's going to be it. Thank you all very much for checking out the Haze Demon Show. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and follow me on trovo.live/Haze Demon. But that's it. Don't forget to bring a towel. Peace out.